Welcome back. I wanted to do just a little quick update. I did sell the van, and I'm really excited. The woman who's buying it lives pretty nearby, so it's going to be easy for me to help her get like all the different pieces, because we got the extra bed and uh, some other things that I'm going to give her that I had that I'm not going to need. Um, like I have extra stainless steel panels for the refrigerator. What else? Oh, the blinds and things like that. So if somebody, thankfully she lives nearby, because somebody who wasn't nearby would have to try to get all that home, and then they wouldn't have a place to sleep because you can't have the table and both beds in here. So that's really exciting, and she's really nice. She actually it's perfect because the she loves the modifications I have in here. Um, we're actually probably going to try to camp out. Once I get my van, probably go up to Oklahoma, to my favorite little spot up there. But she's actually going to go full time, so that's pretty cool. So I'm happy that the van's going to a good home. So because that was one thing that was really bumming me out. I really didn't want to just trade it to a dealer because I don't know, I put little effort into it, and granted, it's all personal choice of how you like to decorate and things like that. But going to a dealer, they don't care. It's like they're just going to turn it around. So, but anyway, so I'm excited about that. And then some friends of mine happened to be in Las Vegas earlier this week, and they stopped by Nuvo and took some photos of my van. That's actually my new one. That's actually, I guess, under construction, being built, under development. I don't know what you want to call it. But they took some pictures for me and sent them, so I'll put them in here. But one thing I wanted to talk about real quickly, just to kind of let people know to think about this. If you have a van, or if you're looking to purchase a van, particularly private sale, if you're going to look for pre-owned, or you're trying to sell your van, privately, is make sure your title's correct. As you know, I purchased this from a couple that lived in Tennessee at the time. And well, they were actually in California, but they were uh, residing in Tennessee. So anyway, when I got my title, I didn't even realize it, but when I got my title, it said 2020 on it. And with these vehicles, they call it a two-stage title. So the manufacturer actually sends, for the new one, sends a certificate to the dealer that certifies that yes, it's a 2020 Ford, but this is classified as a 2021 Coachman Beyond. And I'll put some screenshots in here. Um, so then when it goes to get titled, it's actually titled as a 2021, and it's titled as a 2021 Forest River uh, Coachman or Beyond. It's titled as the RV manufacturer, not titled as a Ford Transit. That's why it's called, I guess, a two-stage title. And the reason you want to make sure is because that's going to affect resale, financial things like that. Now, in my case, you can get it corrected. Each state is probably, I'm assuming, is going to be different in how they handle it. I think Florida is probably actually much easier than Texas. Texas was a little difficult, and it because there was a few steps. Because what was happening was when I was talking to the tax office that handles vehicle titles and registration, they kept saying, "Well, we can only trace it back to Tennessee." And at first I didn't understand what that meant. So luckily I know who the previous owner is. I was able to get in touch with him, and so I knew what county to call to get the information from Tennessee. And so the county clerk's office in Tennessee actually sent to the clerk's office here, sent over the proper documentation, like all the documentation that they have. Um, Particularly, and it's called an MCO. I don't know what that stands for, but it's that certification from the manufacturer. So then they were able to say, okay, now all we need is a VIN inspection. And the VIN inspection is actually like part of the auto, in this case for us, it's the North Texas Auto Theft Task Force. But the VIN inspection is basically verifying that, the vehicle wasn't, manipulated with, stolen, whatever you want to call it. But, and that part isn't, the inspection itself is not a big deal, and I don't even have a problem with that. I mean, that makes sense why they do it. What I have a problem with is that they require it, but trying to find a place to do it. So I was kind of like, okay, if you're going to require it, you got to have places that can provide this service. And it's done by, I guess, police departments, sheriff's office, things like that. It's not just, it's not like a smog inspection. I mean, it's, it has to be done by law enforcement. So, and that was the thing. A lot of the police departments aren't doing it anymore. They used to, but I guess, I don't know if there was like a grant or something, and maybe the grant ran out. So there's like very limited places that do it. And they gave me, here, you got to call this phone number. And I called the phone number, and it's actually a voicemail, and it's forwarded to a woman's cell phone. And then she gets back to you. And when she was scheduling, it was scheduled like, I think it would have been like 3 or 4 weeks out. And then, so I kept trying to find, it's got to be somebody else, and I'm like Googling and all that. And in one of my searches, and it's really weird because now Google has, when you do a search at the top, if you've noticed, it'll have like this AI thing saying, giving you some of the information related to what you're searching for. One of the times it came up with this phone number for McKinney. So for City of McKinney. So I called that number, and it actually was, I don't know if he may have been a sheriff. I'm not really sure, or in the sheriff's department, but he was retired. He retired like 3 years ago. So it was somebody's cell phone, but he gave me a tip. He said, try Paris, Texas Police, which is about close to 2 hours from here. So I called them and left a message, and then they got back to me, and they had something on the 14th in Bonham. And then the lady that I had left a voicemail with, she sent me a text and said she had the 21st. So I scheduled the 21st, I scheduled the 14th, and then I found that, so Paris had 2 locations, one in Paris and one in Bonham. Paris is further. So I thought, well, let me just see, even though it's further. And they had one on the 7th. So I had one scheduled for the 7th, one scheduled for the 14th, and one scheduled for the 21st, because I was like, okay, I am going to schedule these as backups, and then if I can find something sooner. And then thankfully, the woman that's buying my van, she had happened to, at one point, I think she had worked or interned over at the Plano Police Department and still knew some people over there. And she contacted one of them, and they said, oh yeah, we have a detective that can still do this. So thankfully, we were able to get that in sooner. So I canceled my other reservations, and, Plano is much closer. It's like 15, 20 minutes from where I am versus, hour and a half drive. Because every other place that I found was either, like, the closest was an hour away. Because it was there was one down in Mansfield, there was Duncanville, Paris, and I tried Tarrant County, and they were like booking out in January. And so that's what I mean. That was the frustrating part, was just trying to get that done, because we couldn't go any further till that was done. So now I'm just waiting for the updated title to come in, and we should be all set. But it was just that I just kind of wanted to share that as kind of a word of caution if you are, planning, if you have a vehicle to sell, if you or have an RV to sell, or if you are looking to purchase one pre-owned, just to make sure everything is good with the title in terms of how it's titled, because it can affect how it affects, if you're going to finance it, how it affects that. Because the bank may say, hey, wait a minute, you're saying it's this year, but the title says this, we can only give you, so much in a loan or whatever. So that's just definitely something to be aware of. But it's all straightened out now. So now I'm getting really excited. My surgery, I am actually 4 weeks out. It was 4 weeks ago yesterday that I had the surgery, and I'm still hobbling around. I am in a boot. I was in the soft cast for 2 weeks. And so now I've been in the boot for 2 weeks, and I can very slowly walk around on it. I'm supposed to be using crutches if I go anywhere, but I find the crutches kind of hard to, I don't know. I don't feel like they help me at all. I mean, I just hobble either way. So, and then if I don't have the boot on, I still have to be on the knee walker. But I am really anxious to get this, I don't know, healed up and get going and just get back out there. But of course it helps that I am waiting for the new van, so it's not like I have a, even with this one still sitting in the driveway, because I've taken everything out of it, and I know, it's not going to be mine much longer. So I'm not thinking like, oh gee, I wish I could take it and go somewhere. So not having a van right now is probably a good thing, because if I had a van equipped and ready to go, I think I would be going crazy knowing, oh, I can't, can't get around yet. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to share a little update, and hopefully I should have, I'm hoping, I'm guessing probably early December for the new van, because I think it's supposed to be scheduled to be done end of November. But of course, we have Thanksgiving coming, and then it's, because I'm going through Sunshine State, and I decided to have it delivered just because with my foot and everything, and trying to fly at this time of year is not, and I don't like flying anyway. But and Sunshine State actually ships for free, so um, it has to go from Las Vegas. Unfortunately, it has to go from Las Vegas to Florida, because Sunshine State wants to do an inspection before they deliver it, and then they would deliver it from there. So however long that takes, in my mind, knowing the distance, I know how long it would take me, but then again, we're talking me driving 4 hours a day and stopping, right? Shipping, or truck drivers they're going to drive longer days. So, but anyway, so yeah, probably I'm guessing beginning of December. But so I'm getting really excited. So it's really almost a little bit, probably about a month away, maybe a little bit less than a month away. So anyway, so yeah, it'll be interesting. I can't wait to introduce Misty to it. It'll be interesting to see how she does, because she, be a new experience for her too. Um, but yeah, just really ready to get back out there. So hopefully the next video, maybe probably will be when I take delivery. So um, anyway, so it might be a few more weeks. I think it's already been about a month since the last video, so maybe another month for the next video. But anyway, I will see you soon.